as well as Kaboom. So there's a couple really solid wins under Red's belt. They're looking to get another one here against Furia.
Yeah, now looking at towards this game here, right? Champion win rates across the board. Caitlyn is actually the current leading win rate champion in CBLOL for this season, sitting at 80%. FMB, very high pick rate on the Jace, 11 games across his career, but unfortunately sitting at just under a 30% win rate. So kind of opposite, but Guigo could be caught out here in the top
Oh,
lane.
rest
Oh,
in
the hook.
peace. The flash does come out and the hook does not land. So Guigo, able to escape despite getting dogpiled by the whole Furia team, is able to get over the wall. And I would say, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse.
Absolutely. I really liked Redbird there. He held his hook until Guigo was over the wall, and then he shot it just a little bit too far forward there. I'm not sure if Guigo did level that E first on the Graves. That does set his laning phase level 1 at least a little bit behind. I didn't quite catch it if he did use that or not, but still, again, Redbird, nice holding that hook for such a long time to use over the wall.
To confirm, Guigo did level
Mm.
the E, so that
Yeah, he
is
did.
what he will start with in lane. And of course, FMB will also have the summoner spell advantage in this lane to start off with, so we'll have to definitely keep an eye on how things play out up there. Of course, the Jace and the Camille matchup that we got to watch last game kind of blew the game pretty wide open, so we'll have to see how Guigo can do here, but FMB going to get a little bit of a trade. The Shock Blast not going to land there. We can take stock of the rest of the map here. Both junglers starting top side, so we'll have to see if there's any sort of action towards bottom lane early on. The push in favor of Teton and JoJo so far in this early game. Of course, Redbert not going
Oh
to be too
no.
sad about
Oh my
getting to
gosh.
possibly hook under towers. FNB puts Guigo down below 100 health, and Guigo in a very tough spot. Does have a biscuit, to be clear, but this Jace looking solid here through the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, that level 1 to level 2 is so hard to fight in the top lane, right? If you're not able to get that last melee minion in the second wave, you're sitting at level 1, whereas FMB, he's got that level 2. He can poke you out so easily, and Jace is so good at poking you out. Man, Guigo, he is not allowed to play top lane right now. He's actually forced to recall here, probably will TP back, I would predict. Looking towards the bot lane here, though, like you were saying, it is a slight CS lead for Teton on that, again, 80% win rate. Caitlyn, I don't even know how a champion gets that high of a win rate. Really crazy that they were able to be won it here in this game to Aegis. Drop it down here in the bot lane, able to pick up that scuttle for himself. Walks over a couple wards, though. Ranger.
Yeah, that 80% win rate feels like, that feels like something from my elo, where the bot laners don't know how to handle trading auto attacks with a Caitlyn, but Ranger going to get in here onto Aegis, and
Oh
Neptuno
no. Oh my
easily able
gosh.
to lock him down despite the well buffered flag and drag. Their first blood goes to Envy, who stepped down into the river to finish that kill off. So a great start for the Vex as Red's jungler punished early.
Aegis, he got the scuttle for himself. Is it worth it? Only a jungler will be able to tell you that one. He burned his flash for it as well. Very unfortunate. Giving a kill over to Envy as well as those double buffs does make this mid lane significantly harder for Grevthar in a matchup that in theory shouldn't result in any kills. Once again, it is just a mage versus a mage. Even if one of them is an assassin, you're most likely not going to be solo killing Grevthar early on into this game, but double buffs does make that lane significantly harder for him to try and just even match.
Damn it, Camcom. I want violence in my mid lanes. This is
No,
unacceptable. Stop telling me there's not going to be any kills. That's not what I want to hear.
I'm sorry.
I want blood. Please. Yes, great start there for Envy, of course. We go continuing to get abused in this top lane, down by 10 CS, so it hasn't snowballed completely out of control yet, but F&B just continues to apply so much pressure up here, and Guigo just kind of holding on for dear life. Nice to see Furia here in Red Can. It's pretty close in the fan poll. I see, you know, I'm fairly new to Brazil, but it's been funny watching a lot of those polls and seeing them at
Oh my
80,
gosh.
90% favor of some
Don't
teams as
do it to
Guigo.
him.
Rest
Oh
in
no.
peace. Ranger gets to the top lane at the perfect time, able to dash in and secure the kill as FNB's continued pressure up there results in a kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, oh,
Aegis.
Envy so perfect, able to cancel the fire drag, and Grevthar has to run for the hills. Envy hits level 6, looking to get in on Grevthar, but not going to be able to get there. Rise will escape with his life, and everything's coming up Furia right now.
Yeah, Grevthar did pop that ghost to be able to make sure that he was able to run out as we get a
Oh
replay of this
no.
very unfortunate dive. Everyone cover your eyes. Oh no, it's painful. Top lane is fun, guys, I
Look
swear.
away, Red Canids fans.
Oh, Jojo walking into a trap that he doesn't quite know is a trap yet.
Surprise, says Redbert. Gonna try and chase down Jojo. Hook going to miss. Good flash there from Jojo. Almost would have liked to see Redbert maybe go for the hook a little earlier before Jojo can get to the wall, but held it to try and hook after the flash. And as a result, Jojo able to get away to safety. Meanwhile, Natuno down in this bottom lane, holding on so far, about a 10 CS lead here for Teton. Ranger going to be able to take this first Drake solo thanks to that pressure in Red Cannon's red side jungle, interestingly enough. So that's going to be the first Drake for Furia. Ranger will follow it up with a Scuttle Crab pickup. Both junglers on the bottom side of the map right now. Aegis picking up his Krugs, and with Drake having gone down, curious to see if he elects to go bottom lane. Something tells me he's probably just
Hook.
going to go right to his red, but there is the hook. Jojo pulled in there. Quite a bit of damage there from Natuno, but Teton able to step up and get a nice little response there onto Redbird. Teton just punishing the bottom lane here. That's going to be the ultimate from the Caitlyn, and good work from Teton and Jojo as they step up to the tower. Aegis here in the bottom lane. Ranger going to get over
Ranger
the
level
wall,
6.
but oh, this is going to be interesting. Aegis still level 5. The response will be here quicker from the red bottom lane, but
Oh
Jojo just
no.
gets deleted. Natuno and Ranger secure the kill, and Furia continue to make plays.
That was purely based on the fact that Ranger had that level 6 up on Aegis. If you don't have a Cataclysm there, you don't have a very easy way to have that gap close to be able to get onto Natuno, right? You spend so much time just trying to walk at him. If you have to waste all that time not doing damage onto someone that's autoing you as you're walking towards them, you're just losing time, losing damage, losing health. More importantly, is there's another 1v1 here in the top lane, but you know, I don't think I'm hoping and praying that Guigo is at least allowed to play top lane for the next couple of minutes, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, first 3 kills now in the favor of Furia, 0 picked up by Red. First dragon in their pockets there as well.
Guigo looked a little bit more comfortable in that last little 1v1 against FNB. Still at the disadvantage, I would say, but starting to round into his own. That Vampiric Scepter helping out quite a bit, able to sustain a little better in this lane and stay on the map. Teleport about to be up as well for Guigo, so does at least have that fallback plan there. The Vax looking great so far as Envy continuing to give Grevthar quite a hard time getting close to a 20 CS lead as Aegis going to be able to get the smite off there. Ranger with the blast cone over the wall. Won't be able to steal the blue buff, but something tells me that Xin has his eyes set on that Rift Herald. Pings on it already. Will turn to take it now. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, there's another hook from Redbird. Teton steps back out of trouble, and Jojo eats it, but good damage. Again, the response, you know, the hooks come through for Redbird, but the damage from Teton and Jojo is just so high.
They don't have a whole lot of time right
Oh.
now. Aegis, he's looking Find
They're
something there
running.
on the back line. So low for Titan and JoJo.
Oh, that's the ultimate from the Caitlyn, and Aegis gonna get in here. Cataclysm will force out the flash from Natuno, and he's not gonna get away. And the ultimate from Grevthar will get him into the conversation. Teton gonna force Redbird to run towards Rivers. They're gonna look for some tower plates here. Meanwhile, top lane should fall. That is going to be the Rift Herald dropped by Ranger, and that is gonna be first tower for Furia here as Guigo has to be careful.
Oh
They're just
my.
going to dogpile here on the Graves. Guigo's going to go down again. Another kill here for FNB. His win rate may be 27%, but he's hunting for 30 here with this game.
He's fine. He's going for it, man. He is doing absolute wonders here in this top lane. If you just cover bot lane with the sticky note right now, Furia are absolutely dominating this map. 4,000 gold lead plus that first dragon once again. Rift Herald getting a charge off on the inner turret as well, taking it to just 1/3 of his HP. Honestly, the minion wave might actually be able to take it. That's a fairly large minion wave just autoing down that turret. And FMB, that does mean that he does have to start looking towards other lanes now to get them ahead, get some plates off that mid and bottom turret, both of them still sitting at 4 and 5 plates respectively. Second dragon even coming up in 50 seconds. Infernal, very powerful for Furia if they are able to keep stacking these drakes.
Yeah, it's kind of the one interesting thing about Guigo being on the Graves specifically in this top lane, because getting your tier 2 broken that early as a top laner who's been struggling in lane could actually be a benefit. Guigo would typically be able to just kind of freeze that wave as best he can, get some fairly safe farm, and just ensure his team maintains vision in that blue quadrant. The hard part, though, is playing the Graves is you don't freeze waves very well. You tend to very easily push lanes with, even if you don't want to. But at the very least, Guigo should hopefully be able to pick up relatively safe CS on a fairly consistent basis in that lane to try and recover in this game. About a 20 CS lead right now for FNB. Of course, has the kill, has picked up the Eclipse as well, and stacking up that tier. So this Jace, really strong, just 12 minutes into the game in the gold lead, about 3,500 for Furia as Aegis into the bottom lane gets onto Natuno. The Jhin just gets absolutely deleted, and the Blitzcrank soon to follow. Teleport has arrived for FNB. It's a 3v3 in the bottom lane, and here comes Grevthar. Doesn't have the ultimate, so it's going to take a long time to get here and say goodnight. Teton Envy going to take the kill there, maybe hunting for the dive here. Some good damage onto Aegis, but Ranger taking a lot of poke from JoJo, and the rest of Red Canids will escape from trouble, but a good turnaround there from Furia.
It's only a 1-for-1 between the two AD carries. Meanwhile, Guigo up here in the top lane picking up a few plates for himself as well. Just kind of getting more and more little leads in terms of gold there for blue side. As once again, Cataclysm so nicely placed. You got the flash, you got the cleanse, then you use the Cataclysm immediately after. Jhin, he doesn't have a whole lot of ways to be able to escape it. Ranger flashing in, though, he blocked the escape from the Vex. You can't flash after Rangers already flash blocking your escape, and after that it's just a couple cleanup kills for them, right? Unfortunately, FMB, he didn't have the unleashed teleport. That fight starting at the 12-minute mark, so he wasn't able to teleport to that pink ward in that bush. Just has to TP to that tower, which means it took a long time for him to be able to gap close into that team fight. Grevthar could be caught out here in the mid lane.
Ooh, good sidestep there on the rocket grab from Redbird, and Grevthar will stay alive. It's funny. It feels like, obviously with the changes to teleport that we saw in the preseason, those pre-14-minute teleports into team fights just feel so awkward. It's just like, hey, I'm teleporting, and they get there, and it's just like, all right, now I'm on my way because I still have to run down the lane to get to you guys. They feel just FMB's just like, I swear, guys, I'm coming. I'll be there soon. I promise. They're that friend that you call is just like, hey, are you ready to go? And they're like, yeah, I'm ready to go, but they still like just got out of the shower, and you're 5 minutes away. They still have to get dressed. Like, FMB's coming. He swears.
He's on his way. He'll get there eventually, whether the play is
Yeah.
still going or not. It's up to you guys. Like if you just like stand there, give him like 5 seconds to be able to get to the fight, then keep playing the fight, right? As going back here to the live game, outer or inner turret even finally taken from that top side. I believe the gold, local gold did go to Envy there on the Vex, so that is again, more gold now 2-0 with that completed Ludens and Hextech alternators sitting real pretty. A little bit of a CS lead on top of that just to make sure that you know Envy is going to have a lot of presence in these team fights later on with this Vex.
Yeah. Envy has already had his mark on this game so far and will definitely be looking to continue to do so. Second Rift Herald spawning very soon. We're still 2 minutes away from the next Drake, and Fury has controlled that objective so far. The bottom lane of Natuno and Redbird, despite struggling early on, they've died 3 times between the two bot laners there. They've still been able to control the bot side of the map. It's
Oh,
been great work from Ranger there. As Teton having to flash away from the deadly flourish of Natuno, and the ult from Grevthar going to get himself back to the mid lane as Red Cannon's going to try and regain control as Jojo just loses, just a slight 40% of his
I
health
know.
bar from an empowered shock blast. No big deal. FNB, is not a problem.
Yeah, just heal it back up, right? You'll
Yeah.
be fine. You got it. Just don't get hit by that again, and then maybe you'll be down to 80% or something like that. As that was a whole lot of throwing abilities at each other, not a whole lot of kills. And come on, guys, I want to see some kills. And like you did say, really nice flash hook there from Redbird. It was just unfortunate that Team Titan even he's able to match that flash with his own. If Redbird can go for that again, I do believe that he has a little bit more CDR on his summoner spells than Titan does have. Then you will be able to hit that hook, maybe in theory, unless Gale forces up.
We'll have to see how it shakes out. Grefthar down to the bottom lane here to get that wave pushing. Of course, Red, understanding that Furia already has 2 Drakes, do not want to let them get to Soul Point here in 30 seconds away. This is an interesting back timing from Jojo. A little bit of vision set up around this bot river and the blue side quadrant of Furia, but I'm not a fan of that back timing with Rift Herald already down. That's going to take out the tier 1 tower in mid. Redbert looking to step forward, knows that the flash is not available for Teton, so can continue to just threaten with the hook as the Rift Herald will get the charge onto the tier 2, and it just seems like Red Canids are going to concede the Drake. They don't seem comfortable and faithful that they are strong enough at this point to contest for that objective. They're just going to give it away here to Furia. So Furia on Soul Point. If you're Red Canids, you're thankful that it's a Cloud Drake that is not, an impressive soul. It is going to make Ranger's job easier getting onto your team, but it's not infernal. It's not this crazy sustain that you get from an Ocean Drake, so they'll be feeling okay.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Teton is not safe, I should say, as Envy gonna get under the backline, but isn't able to finish off the Caitlyn there. The curtain call from Natuno gets some damage out, but is not able to finish anybody off. So at the very least, Furia will discourage any further push onto that tier 2,
meanwhile.
but they don't secure any kills. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, FNB looking for this tier 2 tower.
Man, that local gold for F&B once again. He doesn't have all the KP in the world, but he does have all the CS and all of the outer turrets. Currently sitting at 10 CS a minute right now on this Jay's top lane. 30% win rate. Nah, we're pushing that up now right now.
The truest solo lane, side lane Jace here from FNB. That infusion of gold is going to be really nice. Almost has the tier fully stacked up here on the Jace. And something tells me FNB is backing and is going to finish an item. There it is. And also able to get a serrated Dirk on top. So that is FNB at quite a strong point in this game. So Furia coming back out onto the map. Very, very strong. Going to be feeling confident in their builds at this point. You want to talk about Envy with that Ludens, and the Hextech Alternator has also added a needlessly large rod on top of that. So this Vex that has already
Oh,
been a problem here is a good bit of poke there from Jojo on the Natuno. Envy is only going to continue to give Red Canids fits.
It's been a
Oh,
lot of
Greftar.
oh, okay, realm warp. He'll be all right here. Just he's perfectly fine. Nice realm warp there from Grevthar, but so far across the map, it has just been mostly trading turrets for turrets. Sometimes Fury getting 2 in favor of 1 there for red, but lots of turrets taken so far. Only the inner turret in the mid lane still stands for red. Inhibitors being threatened at just before 20 minutes here.
Oh,
Very dangerous,
Greftar.
Grevthar.
You
Oh no.
already ulted out of trouble, but the flash, well played from Grevthar. Walking a very fine line in this bottom lane, already had to ult out of trouble, stayed long enough to get flanked once again, loses his flash as a result, but does stay alive. That's Grevthar just saying, I need as much CS as I can get. This Vex is a problem, guys.
Yeah, and again, meanwhile, they were just trading that for a tower in the top lane. Now Guigo can start making a comeback here. Maybe not in the terms of CS, but with that local gold that he is able to take from that outer top or inner top turret, even does give him a little bit close or get him a little bit closer to that second item power spike there on the Graves. Maybe not anywhere near as close as FMB, still sitting most CS, most gold in the game, still maintaining what is that? It's at 12 CS a minute. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that is some good math right there, Camcom. Right about 12 CS a minute on this Jace, and continuing to be a very significant threat. Also, do have to note Redbird did just finish the Shirelia, so this Blitzcrank going to be even more of a threat as he's just going to come zooming, hunting for those rocket grabs to try and force Teton to use Flash again or even secure a kill. Gale Force was the mythic choice here from Teton, so that does add a little bit of extra safety from those aggressive plays from Redbird's Blitzcrank, but we'll have to see how things play out. 21 minutes and 30 seconds in. We're just over a minute away from this Cloud Drake, which would be Soul for Furia. And my question is right now is, has anything changed over the last 5 minutes for Red Canids that they feel confident to maybe contest for this Drake or force a fight? Or are they just going to concede it again? Because the problem you run into here is if you lose a fight right now, you probably just concede Drake and Baron and an inhibitor.
Well, what I was gonna say is there's not any towers in the opposite lane to distract them. Cataclysm onto Envy.
Oh, that's going to be Envy just blown up, shut down. What a setup there from Aegis as they just take out one of the biggest threats on the enemy team with the mid laner down. This could be the opening that Red Canids were looking for. 20 seconds on the Drake. The big thing to note here, difference between the Drake timer and Envy's respawn, about 7 seconds as they're going to go in here. I'll have to hold on that point as Aegis eating a lot of damage for the current goal just gets shut down. Jojo was not able to block that final shot, and that will be the jungler going down as a result. So now Smite advantage in favor of Furia, and guess what? 7 seconds until Envy respawns. Teleport available as well. So it's not going to take long for this Vex to get into the fight. Immediate teleport on respawn. They want this soul. They are going to take the tier 2 tower here, and I would imagine immediately turn back towards that Drake.
Okay. Oh my goodness, Redbird. Gonna give you
Not
a heart attack
lacking
there.
confidence.
That is basically what I said the last time that he went for the flash hook though, right? It's you have to do it basically the second his flash comes up, right? Or else Titan, he's gonna have his flash up as well. So again, just flash or flash support for AD carry there. But that was actually a really good macro play there from Furia, I have to say. It's a win-win situation. You either walk it down mid, you take potentially an inhibitor turret if they were able to take that inner turret there first, or they give that dragon and then they are able to take that inhibitor. So red, they were kind of either, oh okay, well I didn't, did you see a Lux there? I didn't see him.
Nope. Nope. I just saw Envy ulting onto nothing. Just empty space. I don't know why Envy would waste an ultimate like that, but to each their own.
But yeah, it was
Oh,
basically a win-win, right? Because they either get the dragon
oh,
and a turret
Guigo.
after Guigo.
Guigo gonna get locked
Oh, the
down, and the
hook!
hook lands perfect from Redbird, as that's gonna be Natuno grabbing the kill. And Furia, looks like they're just dotting their I's and crossing their T's in this game. They've got about a 4,000 gold lead. They've already picked up the Cloud Soul. They have their eyes set on the Baron right now. And with Guigo down, there's no way Red Canids are contest for this. I imagine JoJo's going to try and throw a very hopeful ultimate into the pit right now. Oh, that was close. But that's
Oh.
going to be the Baron for the side of Furia. Redbird pretty low there, but they're able to secure the neutral objective. And now Furia just has all of the tools that they need to finish off this game.
Man, if JoJo just had a little bit of extra gold there to be able to have a mythic, I think JoJo steals that. I really do. That was a pretty perfectly timed final spark. I'm not too, they did have vision just a little bit, just enough to know when to click it, but not actually committing anyone to lose another team fight was very good there from Red. You have to fight for this Elder in 4 minutes. As long as you are not dying in the next 4 minutes, before this Elder just giving more leads over to Furia, you wait out the Baron and then you fight for the Elder in 4 minutes. That is currently what Red is trying to play for, and Guigo is really scaring me right now.
I think Red Cannons liked your idea and just thought, yeah, we'll just sit in this brush
Yeah.
for 4 minutes. We'll wait. Elder will be up soon, guys. Don't worry. Uh, Jojo on this Lux, it feels like the way things are trending right now. We were talking earlier about how effective this Lux can be, and how if you get ahead, Jojo can become that tertiary carry and bring a lot of damage to the table. It feels like though when you compare the Lux to the Morgana, the Lux feels like the more feast or famine pick. Feels like the baseline of the Morgana with the long range of the binding and the utility you get from the Black Shield always has a great baseline of effectiveness. And it feels like JoJo here, since the lane just did not go well and they've continued to be punished, has
Danger.
not been nearly as big of a threat as Envy just dives to the backline and says, "Good night, JoJo." Envy going to go gold as Guigo has fallen, and the base will go to ashes here for Red Canids. Grevthar still alive with Aegis and Teton trying to clear this wave as best they can. The base will survive for the moment with 2 inhibitors down and a wave on its way. Baron empowered minions looking to set up the win here for Furia. They're looking to get to 4-1 right now. Teton and Grevthar doing everything they can, trying to clear the wave. Aegis going to go gold. It's not going to keep him alive. That was FNB will take him out. Teton running for the hills. JoJo with a good ultimate, but it does not matter. The